So, can you trust the price targets on stocks and crypto coming from Wall Street, YouTube, and otherwise? That's the subject of today's video. And in fact, I want to show you guys a couple things today. And let's just jump right in. This is James Fishback. He recently met with Donald Trump and Kathy Wood. That's the ARK Invest person. Have a look at this.
This is a nice group, very smart looking group, very nice.
We're having a conversation about you're going to open up the golden era for the United States.
This will be the golden era. We're going to do a good job, and you'll be very happy. We're going to do a very good job. Where's Kathy?
Kathy's right over here. Kathy?
Hello, Kathy. How are you? Congratulations. I heard you do a great job.
Oh, thank you. Talk about a great job. We're looking forward to your great job.
We had a
We're going to help you as much as we
successful
can.
campaign. It's really been terrific. Great support. A beautiful mandate to do it right.
Absolutely.
So anyway, have a good time.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you.
Have fun.
So they can see there, that was Trump. He walks in the room. Hello, hello, hello. Everyone says hello, hello, hello. And this gives you kind of a behind the scenes look of how the world really works. If you don't know, and I mentioned several times on the channel, Trump and I went to the same school, but not just the Donald, many of his kids did. We're talking about the University of Pennsylvania. And for some people, when you're at these kind of places, they just want to snuggle up to the Trump family and basically try to get them to, sell whatever they're selling. So what these people are doing essentially is they want to get close to Trump's advisors. Trump's advisors then screens whatever contracts. Okay, how much will you pay Mr. Trump? Mr. Trump only accepts, $1 million plus or whatever. And they go, oh, okay, the deal's acceptable. And then Trump doesn't know anything about anything. And again, just sells whatever people give him a contract for. This is how this game is played. Back in 2021, Trump was calling a Bitcoin a scam against the dollar. But that was before people were paying him, right? And so now we got people paying him. In this situation, this was just this last month. There was the dude, his name was Justin Sun, and I think he's part of this Cryptotron thing. Paid Trump $30 million for real to promote cryptos. He even bought a banana for $6.2 million. We talked about this before, and then he ate the banana, which is kind of nuts. Kathy Wood, the one that Trump was meeting in that video, she shills crypto, Tesla, and stuff all the time, telling you how Tesla is going to be the most awesome thing in history. And then essentially these people all get together. As long as you pay Trump money, he'll market and shill whatever that you want him to do. And you can see his family does profit from crypto, sure. And if you want to enter in that world and work with those kind of people, yes, you can get rich scamming people. 100% you can. But it depends what you want in life. For the average person, and I say this several times on the channel, you're better off just buying an index fund. This would be just S&P 500 kind of thing, or get a balanced index fund, which mixes stocks and bonds, which may end up being really good this year at the balanced index funds, because I am particularly bearish on the market because I think they were in a crazy bubble. When Trump says Kathy Wood is so awesome at what she does, this is the kind of performance that you're talking about in the last 5 years. It's up 16%. And in fact, they were negative for a while. They recently got a bump from Tesla because people are betting on corruption with Elon Musk and Trump. Again, this is all related stuff. As long as you pay Trump money, he'll sell whatever you want him to sell. Check out this. This is a movie I want you guys to see. If you haven't seen it already, it's called Bitcoin. Again, it gives you some behind the scenes look, kind of similar to what you're seeing with, again, that Kathy Wood and that James guy meeting Trump. This is about a crypto company that's basically a scam. Watch this one too, Margin Call. It's an inside look at Wall Street. Yes, it is a Hollywood fiction thing. How about this? Yes, it is a Hollywood movie, but it's based on a true story. So it's just a good inside look. Same way as this one. This is called The Apprentice. It's recently about Trump's life in his early years. And it just gives you an idea of how these people are. One of the things that I noticed when I started doing YouTube is like how prevalent this kind of shilling stuff is. This is a video I did a while ago, but it was a summarization if you want to watch it. It's called FTX Scam Warning Timeline History. But it's a summary of all the videos I was making at that time saying, guys, there's all these people on YouTube basically shilling crypto. They were at this agency called Creators Agency. If you guys don't know, there's networks of social media people that all work in cahoots together. And I called them out, and they were pissed, and they still remain pissed. They hate me. They all hate me. Trust me, they do. And I'm just showing you these pictures because a lot of people don't realize that guy, why does this YouTuber go on this other YouTube channel, and why do they always like pump up each other? Because they're all working together behind the scenes. But it gets worse, guys. These days, and this is a Dave Lee guy. These days, now the Tesla people are all shilling you robots or whatever nonsense, saying it's going to change the world, etc.
Hey, it's Dave. So here's what most analysts are missing with Tesla. The real test of a generational company isn't just dominating its initial market. Rather, it's the ability to go head to head with the world's best companies in adjacent markets and win. This is exactly what Tesla is positioned to do, and it's why their story is far bigger than just electric vehicles. Let me explain why this matters.
I'm just pointing this stuff out because it's so prevalent on YouTube, or in this case Twitter, and you can see this kind of stuff that they're saying. Here's Dave Lee's a Tesla stock promoter. Tesla is doing something fascinating. They're using their auto business as a launching pad into two massive adjacent markets: AI transport and AI labor. Right? So basically, people are selling you pipe dreams. They're selling you that pipe dreams that because Tesla is basically essentially a car business is failing. Now suddenly they're going to be the leader in the world in robots and AI, and we're all going to replace every factory worker in the world with a humanoid robot, and I guess you're all going to lose your jobs. It's so ridiculous, like how egregious this stuff is. But this is sort of why I'm showing you this. So, have a listen to this.
Over buses and trains and airplanes and driving your own car. They're not a slight improvement. They're a massive improvement to the point where just like nothing else can compete. And so even if there's some handicaps to their economics.
Or you have, someone like this. This is, what's her name? Stock Boomer Mama, I think she calls herself, or Tesla Boomer Mama. Like these people actually make accounts, literally just to shill Tesla all day. It's pretty nuts. Have a listen to what she says.
Are you in the Cathie Wood camp? I think Cathie came out, friend of Yahoo Finance, frequent guest, always enjoy talking to her, but she came out recently, $2,600 price target on Tesla by 2029. What do you think about that one?
It's a very reasonable price target. Mine is actually higher, not that I am doing as much extensive research as they do. When Cathie Wood and the ARC team came up with that price, they have not included Optimus. And we will actually see Optimus ready, Optimus, the humanoid bot that Tesla will start selling to third parties end of 2025.
Or this is the Farzad. He's one of the big Tesla stock promoters. Have a listen.
Those subdivisions, I'm predicting that Tesla stock price in about 15 years will be somewhere around $48,893, which from today's date is roughly 47x where we are today, which is a lot.
Everybody understands AI is big. Everybody except for Time Magazine understands Elon Musk is the top player in this space. And he has killed himself to make this happen. This is the genius of our generation, who is the most hated human, which is... He's always under fire, and he's firing on all cylinders, and he's driven by hate, which is great. So the future is very bright, and he's a genius of our time.
So they give you these nuts, crazy price targets. They tell you how awesome, robots are going to be. And this is the stuff that I got to call out with you guys all the time is understand when you hear these price targets from these people, what are they basing it on? They're basing on they're expecting corruption. They're basing on this future tech that'll never be delivered. Basically, it's vaporware. And essentially what I try to do with you guys all the time is just read what people are saying, tell you what people are saying, and call out the BS. Here's another example. This is Wall Street, actually. You can actually see all the various price targets. Now, one of the things that really trips people up a lot, especially if you're new to investing and stuff like that, is basically, and I'll try to say this as nice as possible. The average person, all they want to hear is, what will the price be in the future? That's all they want to know. They want to keep it as simple as possible. What's the price going to be in the future, right? So I'll just show you. If that's what you want to see, that's what it is right here, okay? Now, you have to understand that any number of these people, they may have reasons why they're telling you particular price targets. It may not be based on reality at all. In particular, I'll just point out this Dan Ives guy. He'll just tell you all the time that every single tech stock is going to the moon and we're at the beginning and blah, 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 blah. It's all frankly nonsense. And for those of you who say, oh, but Chris, you're not betting on the future. You don't know how awesome the future is going to be. let me ask you this question. Do you remember the dot-com bubble? Now, some people actually probably weren't alive at that time. Older people, I want to hear from your thoughts. Please share with the younger folks. If you guys don't know, I'm 49. I lived through all this stuff. I remember this stuff. This is when I first started getting involved in stocks, etc. And I remember Intel back then. It skyrocketed to the moon. It was like the hottest stock out there. You can see this. That was the peak back in 2000. It hence has come down quite a bit. So not a great investment, actually, to be honest. And then you have Cisco, same thing. It just skyrocketed back in 2000. Hey, this was the backbone of the internet. I mean, you could say Cisco is like Tesla today, where they're saying Tesla's going to be the backbone of AI. They are real companies. Intel's a real company. Cisco's a real company. Tesla's, they're real companies. But you can overpay for something, right? The same way, like if I said, for example, guys, do you want to buy a house for $2 billion? Is that, and I'll tell you how awesome the house is, etc., etc. But you'll know this. You'll know this inherently, like, well, yes, the house is nice, but I don't want to pay $2 billion for it. What happens though in the financial market is a lot of people don't have any, idea of how to price something. And also, this is very real. Stocks, crypto, whatever, can temporarily be elevated, right? So it's true you can make money in trading. I always say it's the truth. It's the truth. But you have to understand what you're doing and what's going on. And oftentimes, many people don't. And essentially, they get involved in the hype and they buy at the top. Because when you look back at these charts of, say, Intel or Cisco, you'd be like, what kind of crazy person would buy at the top? Like, why would you do that? Well, back then, if they tell you, hey, guys, they're going to be Intel chips and everything, they're going to make money forever, right? And it is true that Intel's a real company, and so is Cisco. They're real companies, but again, you can overpay for something the same way that people are overpaying for Tesla stocks or whatever cryptos on the promise that it's all going to be robots forever. Take a look at this. This is stuff that is often reported too. I think this one was in the New York Times, the situation where, and I'm using Trump's example here, they always expose the kind of shady people that he deals with. And when these reports come out of like, hey, look at this, person that he deals business with, remember, he's basically, he'll say anything to anyone as long as he's paid. And when you expose like all this crazy, fraudulent people that he does business with, he'll just say, oh, that mainstream media, it's all lies. It's all lies. And that's the stuff you guys will always be careful about. Anyone that tells you all the time nonsense that mainstream media is lies nonstop is frankly doesn't like to be called out as being fraudulent when they are. One of the things I want to point out to you, if you watch any money channel or any investing channel on YouTube and they don't mention bonds, just walk away. This is like just a fundamental thing to understand is basically, hey, like for example, and I talk about it all the time. This is the treasury yields right now. They're all over 4%. This is safe money. And there's nothing wrong with this. Does it mean you throw all your money into one thing? No, it doesn't. But it means like, don't ignore this kind of stuff. Sometimes it's good just to take the safe thing. And I understand when you're watching your cryptos and your doggy coins and whatever Teslas are going up to the moon, it just seems like it's going to be like that forever, but it may not be. And so this is sort of why you want to spread some stuff out. If you make some money on a particular stock, fantastic. But don't throw all your eggs in one basket because you can get burned really heavily. So again, I'm just mentioning the treasury yield thing. There's nothing wrong with safe money, and part of when you're evaluating your choices of where to deploy cash, you're trying to figure out, okay, what's return on investment going to be? So one, I'm just mentioning, don't discount bonds and don't discount safe stuff. Don't discount picking up index funds. There's nothing wrong with index funds. And I want to show you guys something this about sort of, and again, we're talking about price targets from Wall Street, etc. This was a fascinating article that just came out from Bloomberg, and they're talking about, the price targets are all out from Wall Street. Can't we trust them, basically? And look at this. This is kind of a range of what various, hedge funds and brokerages are predicting for next year's S&P 500. And the question is, can we trust this stuff? So most of the, and this is sort of how it is like they count the number of forecasts. Most of the forecasts, you can see that the average / mean is around 5 to 10% next year. That's sort of what people are forecasting. Some are saying, hey, it's going to be over 25%. The S&P 500 is going to go awesome. Some people are saying negative, etc. Why are they all going around 5 to 10%? And I'm going to talk about this, but I just want to show you, it's kind of an interesting question. This is what people's actual returns are. You can see this. So that, again, that's all over the map. But some will do better in the market, some will do worse than the market. In terms of their predictions, and then again, all these things are really, really fascinating to take a look at. This black square is their actual return that they got. The pink is their forecast, and you can see the actual returns in their forecast can be quite different. The major lesson I want you to understand from this is that whatever forecast people tell you for the future, chances are they're going to be wrong. It is very, very hard to predict the future, right? I'm just telling you the honest truth. It's hard to predict the future. No one knows what's going to happen next year. But with that said, I mean, you can have some at least reality behind it. So for example, guys, when I tell you that humanoid robots are most likely not going to replace all humans in the factory, next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, maybe never, that's a pretty reasonable thing. And it's very different than I understand when the people out there saying, "Oh God, it's going to be the greatest thing, forever." I just want to show you an example of the accuracy of this stuff. Why do people give you price targets between, say, around the 5 to 10% mark? Is because if they're wrong, and this is coming from Wall Street, they won't be wrong by much, right? So if I say, "Hey guys, I think the market's going to go up 10% next year," that's a pretty safe estimate because that's like average returns of the market's like in the 8 to 10% range, that kind of stuff. And then if you're wrong, let's say the market goes down 10%, you're wrong by 20%. Okay, not so bad. Let's say the market goes up, 20%, then you're only wrong by 10%. So basically, they're trying to save face by giving you just a average return for next year. It's not based on reality at all necessarily. It's just they're just playing safe. The other issue when you hear any price target from anyone is ask them, how did you come with said price target? So if they start telling you, oh, and this is sort of what Wall Street, I think, is the narrative next year, Trump is going to deregulate everything. So that's one thing they're saying. They're saying, hey, the Fed's going to cut rates. Another thing they're saying, growth is going to be awesome, et cetera. And it's all going to be AI and quantum computing. And then essentially what we do, every day in this channel, we go through all these different things that people are saying and say, okay, what seems plausible, what seems completely implausible, and what's total nonsense, right? And we have a lot of people in this community that have these discussions about it together. And that's sort of what we're talking about. So I hope these charts make sense to you guys, but the basic gist of it is you can't necessarily trust what Wall Street's saying. They're going to sell you whatever they're going to make money on, the same way that Trump is going to sell you whatever he's going to make money on. And so a lot of this game is basically marketing, to be perfectly frank, and get you hyped up so you'll hand over your cash thinking that you're going to make lots and lots and lots of money. In the short term, anything can happen in the markets, right? And if you're on a winning trade right now, absolutely fantastic, congratulations. But don't start patting yourself on the back too early, because these things can be temporary. That's why I showed you Intel and Cisco. And just understand, guys, that for much of what you see, be it on TV, YouTube, etc., it's not based on reality. That's my thoughts on this stuff. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you in the next video.